Oh my, look what it is, the last day of 2022. That's right, folks, and here you are listening to me, Mr. SimplySuperDave, coming to you from the great state of Louisiana on a day where it could possibly just get up to about 70 degrees. Perfect way to go out at the end of the year, rolling in for 2023 and just trying to stay super. So I'm glad you're here. Today's topic, we're going to end off the week of the talk of unity with the most important piece of all. That is you. That's right. You, of course. I don't care who you are. Just whoever you are and you're listening to me right now. This episode is going to be about you. And who you are and how your bubble works. Because that's what your bubble is. Your bubble is just an extension of who you are. And in this very moment, no matter when you are listening to this, I would hope that you would take the second to just realize that everything that's happening is just happening to you from your perspective. It's your own world. Past, present, and future, all happening right now. And that's how it moves, continuously. It never ends. And that energy that you have in those moments is up and down, left and right, in all directions, really, if you want to think about it that way. And you can control all of it. Now, here's the thing. You would be rare in the life on this planet because most of life just controls on an instinct vibe. All right? We as people and free people in America, for example, at least from my perspective, because I've been blessed to be born in this country, and I love that I grew up with this idealistic way of being a free thinker and to always discover and find out things because I want to know, I want to understand even the bad side of things. And that's why I want to talk to you about you, because I believe we are all going through the same things on different levels, maybe. And that's where the real divide comes from. And in a time of unity, how important you are matters. But what level of success do you have to be personally to be happy? Well, see, that's where they have us divided. Because a lot of people listen to that narrative. You got to let that shit go. You are not your bank account. You are not the house you live in. You are not the car you drive. You are not the clothes you wear. There's nothing material in this world that can define who you are. A collection of those things in your house, for example, when, let's say, you're gone and people come into your house and they discover who you are, then those things become important for a short amount of time before they're divided or whatever's done with them. But if you took it, and really if you think about it, like if you go into someone else's house, you look at all these things and you wonder why that fruit bowl. Why do you have that fruit bowl? But for that person, that fruit bowl has meaning. It came from a memory. It was a gift. It was a bad purchase, but they could never get it away. It was their grandmother's whatever. There's a story attached to it. But for everybody else, it's just a fruit bowl. Everybody has that fruit bowl in life. And it's only special to the person who has it in their house. But a lot of people assume that that everybody, you have people that assume that everybody knows how great they are. And I hate that because but it's understandable. I mean, with technology being the way it is, our little apple of knowledge, by the way, in our hands, we'll just refer to it as that from now on instead of the slash mark of the beast, because it just sounds better, right? And so that fits the narrative. You see how that works? But anyway, yeah, because of this little apple of knowledge, of truth and self, the mirror or reflection you want it to be of you, what you put out on a daily basis, that side of you. But no one knows who you are in your private and your darkest times and your bad times, or who you are once you separate from the rest of the world. That's the side that I like to work on. We all know how to put on the happy-go-lucky, hey, I'm a great person side once you go outside the front door. But the person you are at home, the person you feel guilty of being sometimes because of everything you hear blasting at you from Siri or whoever you want to talk to get things to work for you, or listen to the narrative on TV being blasted through commercials and just throughout everything, you know. It's pretty crazy. I was watching Nickelodeon the other night because that's the only reason we have cable. Is for Nickelodeon. For the dogs, of course. They like Paw Patrol. Keeping up with that, by the way. They got Aqua Puppies coming out next week, just to say. Go Paw Patrol. But, and then they do, I love Nick at Night. I grew up on Nick at Night back when I was a kid. Donna Reed Show, My Three Sons, Mr. Ed. I mean, I love Nick at Night. And I followed them throughout the years. And they have reruns of Friends and Seinfeld at night, Mike and Molly. That's good enough for me right now, and that's the rotation. But the other night, and I questioned Nickelodeon because they already got the NFL now showing on Nickelodeon, so they got kids being, I don't like that. They're sports channels for a reason. Just saying, I understand. It's just great corporate thinking. Okay, yay. If I was like that, yay. Great win. Got kids. Oh, we're going to make so much money now. Look at it. We're cross-platforming. Blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's positive spun. Like we said, it's the thing outside the door, right? But what's being really done behind the door? Nickelodeon should not have NFL games on it. Much less Top Gun. No fucking shit. The other night, I'm sitting there expecting Nick at Night to start, maybe Friends. No. The beginning of Top Gun. I was like, well, it's a commercial because Top Gun, Maverick is on Paramount and their streaming platform. It just came out today or whatever. No. I watched the whole fucking thing, of course, because I love Top Gun. But it shouldn't be on Nickelodeon. I shouldn't be watching Top Gun right now, even though I enjoyed it. But I had to watch it because I had to see what they edited. I mean, there's no reason kids should be watching Top Gun right now. Even though I would let my kid watch Top Gun, but no, not for the masses. I don't know. That's one of those things where I would be okay with my kid watching Top Gun with me or whatever, but I wouldn't want to come in and go, what, Paw Patrol's off and Top Gun's on? What the fuck is going on here? All right, it's programming, folks. Wake up. And they do it in the way that you love. Because who doesn't love Top Gun? Like I said, I watched the whole fucking thing. But anyway, what's the meaning behind the door? What are you doing? That's wrong. You know it's wrong, but they're doing it anyway. But we love what we see outside the front door, so we love it. We endorse it. A lot of companies do that. So I get everybody, but I always challenge everybody to do critical thinking. Do your little Zen work. Have a little bit of time of the day where you find yourself a spot where it's just you, And if you want to play on your apple of knowledge and dig down holes and educate yourself, I encourage that. That's what I use my tool for. But if you get on there just to fuck with other people's lives, for example, people you don't know, and I'm guilty of this because I have to comment on things where I can't hold it in, and it gets to me, but I've controlled that a lot more. I've worked on that. Those are one of those things you got to work on, right? That's one of my things, okay? So, because you got to control everything even if it's a bad thing in your life that that maybe you don't even need, or you lived without it before, but it has self-integrated itself to the point where having this little apple of knowledge is kind of critical in life these days. Think about that statement. But yes, there's a lot of houses. That's real people's lives. And then there's a lot of going outside the front door. And I'm talking about stepping into the internet platform, whatever way you want to do it. I don't care how, what platform you're on, what you share, what you don't share, whatever. What you got to use for your job to claim your insurance. Whatever it is that's integrated into your life to pay your bills. Claim your taxes. So much to be done. So much, and it's integrated now. It's part of life, which is why I broke down life this week a little bit on how unity was kind of used for and against us all throughout the last 100 years, including the industrial age in the early 1900s, how everything went to away from nature, really, like medicine, even the medical industry, the public education system, everything shifted away from earth-related ways to chemically man-made ways. And not to say that's a bad thing. I think that needs to exist. But I think there needs to be a balance there. Does that make sense, folks? Does that sound like a compromise or a middle? If anything, from the first week, you should understand that I am non-biased on most opinions on things. I am going to talk about both sides and how I see it from different perspectives, because I'm trying not to really endorse as much as just talk it out, because that's really what I want to promote mostly through the podcast is don't argue, have a conversation, figure it out, come to an agreement and respect. That's how we should navigate and deal with our situations. The throwing and yelling and arguing points and over-talking one another doesn't really solve anything. There needs to be a lot of listening as well as talking. And without a balance of that, there's never going to be forward progress between two or more parties in a conversation about anything. But yeah, when you walk out the door, what are you promoting? I get it. Everybody's got a thing. But who are you at home? You are not your sexual orientation. You are not the color of your skin. You are not whatever people look and judge you as based on how you dress that day, what car you drive. When you're home and you're alone, who you are is the defining piece of the unity that we are trying to create, so we can protect our freedoms and live the happy lives that we enjoy having. Right now, there seems to be government involvement in our living on a daily basis that we should never, ever let it gotten to this point. And it has slowly happened in the ways of form of programming to convince you that it's okay. It's okay. We're taking care of things. Just sign up and get on this program and pay a monthly fee or whatever. And they've done that with everything. Like I said, listen to the podcast, and if you've caught up and you've been listening, I don't need to re-explain, so I'm not going to waste your time on that. That's what the podcasts are for. I'm not saying there's going to be a whole bunch of them, but if you listen to them all, hopefully you'll walk away wanting to figure out some of your own questions. Not even mine, but open up that door for you to self-discover who you really are behind the programming that they have made you into. who they made me into. I grew up on movies and TV. I know what I was and who I am now. I look back at my life and I can see totally different people about 3 times over. But there is a foundation. It's almost like a slab. Take down a house, you rebuild it. Take down a house, rebuild it. But there's still a similar foundation that you can't change. That part of me will dig into deeper episodes, and there's a lot of me in these episodes. There is a basis of what is in my bubble that I'm sharing with everybody else, hopefully getting inside of yours. Not to overtake it, just to be a little voice in the corner of your mind saying, hey, don't get angry. Don't get scared. Smile, laugh a little, and love this shit out. Because that's the only way you're going to get through anything. So when you're in those little dark moments in your house and you've had a bad day, you feel like the world's against you and everything is against you. Someone's just making your life miserable. Well, realize that you just don't have the wheel in your hand. That if you just grab a hold of your bubble, you can swing it any way you want it. We just need to be reminded sometimes that we have control. We just got to be able to be strong enough to reach up and grab it. And folks, that's where that happy thought has to come in. That meditation point, that realization that you are better than the situation they're trying to force you into. And I'm talking about people that piss you off on an everyday basis, because we all have those. Those are the people that put you in your darkest moments of your day. The one that makes you come home and wonder, oh, God, I hope tomorrow's better. Now, I'm not talking about you happy people out there that's just loving the shit out of today. You keep rocking it, okay? I'm talking about you people that have bad days. And a lot of us think we're having bad days because we're forced to think of standards that are always, well, we've been taught to believe. You got to break that. You got to live in this very moment, at this very time, and realize, are you happy or not? And if you're happy, can you find a happy moment in there? Is there something that you strive for? You focus on it. And you make that shit grow. You focus on it, I guarantee you, when you focus on one good thing in your life, it will multiply to a second. And if you follow the path, you will find that it will make a garden grow around you. Life is beautiful. You just got to stop and look at it. But you got to keep going. There's plenty of it to see, and you'll never see it all. So you got to cover as much ground as you can. And when you finally settle down, you get to a point where you got no more run left in you. Find a spot you want to get comfortable and familiar with. But make sure you do your rounds. Stay active, stay involved, no matter even if you're reclused and your only way of connecting is through a little apple of knowledge. It's a necessary evil. Everything around us in our life is. It's not all black and white. It's all about everything in the middle, folks. And if anything from these past first 2 weeks, actually, thank you so much if you've been listening to all the episodes or any. 2 weeks. It's amazing. You got to make the most out of your life, and then you got to take advantage of that moment. And you got to remember, you don't live in the past, you don't live in the future, you live in right now, no matter what. It's all happening over and over and over. Don't feel stressed out because the world's weight is on your shoulders. It's not. You have full control of this until it's game over. And you don't know when that's going to happen. So don't worry about all that stuff. Be the best who you want to be when you're home alone and you start wondering about someone else's opinion about yourself. Drop it. That's you reliving the moment. Now, if it fuels the fire, like it gives you motivation, I guess think about that shit. That is owning something negative and turning it into something positive. But if this all it's going to do is make you not move for 8 hours, it's winning. Don't let it do that to you. Be strong, get up, move along. Now, if you need a nap because you're old, take that nap. And that's where I'm at. I hope everybody enjoys their last day of 2022. Let go of everything bad. Remember every good moment from this past year. And you take that on and you rebuild that house. And when you rebuild that house, you build it any damn way you want to. You put any peach bowl, you put any fruit bowl, you put any knick-knack out that you want to. You put the couch where you need to have it. Not where they say it looks better, wherever the fuck it feels good to you to have it. Nobody else gives a shit. So enjoy the living hell out of it and do it the way you would want to do it. Program your life the way you want it to be. And that bubble will get brighter and brighter every day. And it will bring 2023 a lot better luck than you would have in 2022. Oh, the year of the inflation. That's how I feel about 2022. That was the most devastating part about this past year. Let's hope next year things get better. As much as I dislike both parties, they are in control of things. So, hopefully, by a miracle of anything, I don't care what, they would have some sensibility and make the year a little bit easier on us down here at the bottom. But until then, I will keep the grind on, just like I know everybody else will. Keep trying to live the life I have the best I can, and find the happiest moments and hang on to them the longest. Try to ignore the worst moments and move past them and not give them any of my time and energy. And that is my promise to myself for 2023. Try to be a little bit more understanding as well. And stop trying to be so much of an asshole. Because, folks, let's be honest, you're getting the best version of me. That's the fake honest me right there. Who I am in real life and myself in my personal private place, well, that's the recluse side of me. But to all those that are real personally close to me, thank you so much for breaking into my bubble. You are welcome here anytime. Mi casa, you casa. And I'm always here for you guys. Thank you so much for making me do this. And probably ending the best year possibly. Amongst all the crazy shit that's going on with this holiday season. Much love and laughter to everybody. Remember, it's the only way to conquer hate and fear. Go be a conqueror, you motherfuckers. Don't be a victim. Happy New Year.